Welcome, Aries. This is your weekly focus for February the 12th through to the 18th, 2024. I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Thanks so much for being here. We're going to dive right into the cards. Oh, and we had one go flying away. What is it? Tell you, that floor is getting farther and farther away all the time for me. The Judgment card is here. This is a card that says rewards are coming to you. There's completion happening in your life in areas where you've needed completion, you've wanted endings. This is also some kind of reward for what you have done, your part in the play, I hear. So, first of all, I'd say, since this is a card that just popped out, pay attention to any kind of horns that are going off or brass instruments that are being played, alarms. Pay attention to those things because it's at those moments that they're trying to grab your attention and give you some kind of download. So be present for that second, that moment. And I think you will get some interesting things come into your head, some interesting thoughts. Or maybe you were just thinking about something. Or maybe it turns your direction into the sight of something you needed to see. So we'll put that one back in there. See if it wants to come out again for you. But we will cut the cards before they get too much of a mind of their own here. Okay, our underlying energy for this week, Aries, is, I kid you not, the Judgment card is here. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit more about the Judgment card then. I was just giving a brief overview. This is also a card that says that you will look at where you could have given more of yourself. And you chose to hold back for whatever reason. And you know now that holding back was not the way to go. But that's okay. That's not a failure. That's not a mess up. That is exactly what you needed to do in order to see the bigger picture, in order to understand why that step might have been so vital, so imperative for you to do. So it could open up a world of clarity and knowledge to you. But really, I see, success is happening. You get that promotion, you get that raise, you get that person that you've been wanting to date for forever and a day. You've got their attention now. There's things that come in to your life at this point to give you some kind of reward for the work you have put in. Our first card is the Tower card. Life could change. Life could really change for you this week. Or it could be the starts of new change. Something happens and it entices new change into being. Definitely we're breaking through that glass ceiling. Definitely we are seeing what we can do going forward. It's like we have this raw skill and we want to hone it, we want to develop it, or we have a very strong skill set and we're going to start utilizing it, whatever your gift might be. Whatever and where people told you, shush, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't, couldn't, mustn't, can't. I think these are the things that will come to light as being great tools for you to use forward in your success. So I almost get like this catalytic approach. I see like the lightning coming down and just, I see the pavement, getting that little crooked line and it parting somehow. Somehow we leave the past in the past, or what doesn't matter anymore in the past, or that part of our walk is done. So we don't really need to keep those parts of it hanging around with us. Okay, clear as mud. But this is where we break through the glass ceiling. This is where we thought that we couldn't or we shouldn't or we mustn't, and we realize that we can. And it could be limitations that we put into place to keep ourselves safe or loved or accepted, or we have allowed other people to put things into place for us. And so this is one of, I'm getting started this real strength in you this week, this confidence boost in you this week. this knowledge, this wisdom coming in for you. We have the World card. Extremely strong cards this week for you. The World card, this tells you that there is a brand new path awaiting you. I mean, where I was seeing the confidence and the strength of you going forward into something marvelous and something wonderful and something that, it's very uncharted territory for you, whatever it is, I think. You've had a lot of experience through it, but you don't see how that experience all goes together quite yet. Does that make sense to you? But this is about, tying up those loose ends by making sure that we actually make that separation from what needs to stay in the past and we don't take it forward with us. We don't need it anymore. What once worked for us, what once supported us no longer does, no longer has value. And so we start to see this in our lives of what we need to release, what we need to let go of. Okay, now we are in new moon energy for this week. So this is about wanting to go forward, but there's something blocking you or there's something still on your mind. It's on the back burner. You can't move past it. So this is a time to pay attention to it, to make sure that you are taking care of it so it doesn't follow you any further, so that you feel the liberation and the freedom as you move forward on your path. And then we have, oh my goodness, the High Priestess appears. I kid you not. What a reading. You guys might be you're always my first, right? I always start with you guys, but this might be the strongest reading that anybody gets. I mean, this is the magic. This is the magic that surrounds you, and know that that magic is available to you. All you have to do is tap into that magic. All you have to do is say, hey, I need help here. I'd like to see this show up in my life. And I think there's a lot of energy around actually trying to manifest that for you, trying to put those things into place that you want so much. But really the true magic is when you sit in contemplation, quiet contemplation, and you look within and you see the magic that is already within you. Your birthright, your talents, your abilities, the unique you, the one-of-a-kind you. And see yourself in all your glory and all your wisdom and all your talents. And understand how you can utilize those things to go forward in your life. How they can strengthen your path. Okay, we will go to work, career, stature in the community, Six of Pentacles. It's got to be a two-way street here. Okay, so I'm seeing this more of growing your stature. So it might be groups within the community. It could be growing your stature within your friendships, work, home and family even. This is about looking at our relationships at work. Maybe it's with the boss. Maybe it's with corporate. Maybe it's with your fellow coworker. But in some way, there has to be this level playing field. You can't be giving all of yourself and not getting anything in return, nor can you take without giving. So is there balance in your relationships? And so, I'm going to pull a fairy card here with this one. And we have, well, I didn't shuffle those, so that's not fair to you. Let's shuffle a card here and get something to go with that card. Of what it's trying to tell. Did I bring out any other decks? No, I have the fairy cards here I took out. I thought it's February. We should have the fairy cards out. So, we did. I got them out. Okay. We have the Chariot. Success that comes from dedication and self-discipline, celebrating your accomplishments, being in the spotlight. Okay, so it could be very much that you are in the spotlight at work. So understand where you have given of yourself in order to be in the spotlight. Understand what they value about you. Understand what they take from you. Okay, your talents and your abilities, you utilize them obviously in the work sphere here. Or growing your stature. Okay, this is where you go to a group meeting of some sort and you say something and all of a sudden all eyes are on you, and before you know it, they're kind of looking at you as the new leader, right? They've raised you up in the respect they have for you or the confidence they have in you. So make sure that when, they're asking you, can you do this and can you do that and can you help out here, that there is enough of you to go around, that you're not giving parts of yourself away that takes away from other parts of your life. So I would think about it, but this is really about you moving forward, in the group setting. Whether or not that is work and career or anything else, but here we're looking at work and career. I think I should have one more deck out here. We'll stick with these. Maybe we'll grab a second one. We have the Chariot, and then we have the Ace of Summer. So open your heart to love, the beginning of a new and intimate relationship, or rebirth of the current one, the awakening of the psychic abilities, or spiritual epiphanies. I almost think this was supposed to be a relationship one. And the reason why I think that is because when I shuffled the deck, that was my intention. So I'm going to put that in the relationship one. We're going to shuffle. So we'll get to that one, but when I shuffled the card, I put in the intention that the first one would be work and the second one would be career, or the second one would be love. And then that came out for the Ace of Summer, and it read really like a love kind of energy. So we're going to pull out another one for work and career here now. And we have the Prince of Winter, intellectual, determined, focused, and impulsive. Seek out an intellectual solution to your problem. The need to act quickly and decisively. Sudden or unexpected changes. So there could definitely be sudden unexpected changes. Uranus is very active this week with our personal planets. So know that you already have the wisdom, right? The intellect in order to go forward. You are already determined to succeed in this path. Okay, focused and impulsive. We can be very focused on something, and so it's about taking that risk on the thing you are focused about. Harnessing your determination. So then we go back to the Chariot card. Dedication and self-discipline. I knew there was some keywords in there. So it's about dedicating oneself to our path that we want to go forward when it comes to work, when it comes to career, when it comes to building our stature within the group. At work, maybe it's more team play. Maybe you've been assigned a hat at the table. Okay, with the Six of Pentacles, first and foremost, make sure that it is an even give and take. That you're not giving a lot of yourself away for free just to make the mark, because that's all you'll do is you'll make a mark. But rather, it's about utilizing your talents and abilities to get you further, to get you those promotions, to get you those raises, to give you that stature, those perks perhaps. Okay, let's see about love and relationships. Look at this. We have the Seven of Cups shows up first, but then we get the Ace of Summer that we picked out. I'll reread that. Open your heart to love, the beginning of a new intimate relationship or the rebirth of a current one. The awakening of psychic abilities or spiritual epiphanies. Very much so. You are at a peak time to tap into your spirituality in some way. And I think that is only going to be heightened as the month goes forward. I think you're at the very beginning stages of a window opening, some kind of love for spirit, or maybe more of a spiritual self-love for yourself coming into play. I see a mirror image, so it's almost the give and take of you having the experience of giving love to yourself and then receiving that love into the confidence, the strength, the wisdom, the compassion, all those things that you carry with you. And spiritual epiphanies, we've already seen these, the possibilities of this clarity coming in, this understanding coming in. So open your heart to love, the beginning of a new and intimate relationship or the rebirth of a current one. So that spark is... So first of all, here with the Seven of Cups, though, there's a lot of choices, a lot of different avenues we can take within our current relationships and even going forward in dating and meeting somebody new. There's lots of choices out there. We don't have to make that determination today. We don't have to go on one date and say, okay, I've got to make this work for myself because the first date I've been on in 3 years or something. And, I don't want to wait another 3 years. So we're just going to make this work. That's not the kind of energy that you ever want to imply into a relationship, of course. But there are there's a lot of choices. So and I'm getting more the choices of things to do, the variety of the experience, the diversity of the plan of bringing in happiness, joy, beauty within relationships. And so there's so much more you can do. And I am going to pick another one. I am going to pick it from the top because they know what I was doing that time. And look at that. We have the lovers. True love that is long lasting. Choices made from the heart. A return to good health. So if you haven't been feeling well, a return to good health is promised here. Of course, we have to do the work. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to be mindful of taking care of ourselves in body, mind, and spirit. Okay? It's not just our physical health that we need to worry about here. And of course, here we have the lovers promising true love. So if you are looking and you are dating, I mean, this is a time when you can meet that person. And I'm not saying act on it quite so quickly because there's so much diversity out there. There's so many choices to be made. There's so many reasons to and not to. We really have to kind of think them over and mull on them, and how does that reflect to what I truly want in a partner going forward. But there is a lot of beauty for the igniting of a spark again within the relationship, creating the beauty, deepening that relationship, strengthening that relationship. Okay, for our spirituality, we have the Nine of Wands. This is going within and understanding that you can do this, seeing the road trip of your tomorrow in your mind, understanding why you want to do it. What is motivating you? Why are you filled with passion? Why are you filled with determination? Why do you want to step in this direction and go within? Okay, we already had the high priestess out here telling us to go within. So when we go in, we see our magic. How do I want to utilize that going forward? It might mean that we might need to, go back to a classroom or do a workshop, or just there's some kind of brush up, or some kind of getting new techniques and a new understanding for it. Maybe there's a group that meets that does exactly what you want to do going forward. And so step into that group and see what they're talking about, see what the buzzwords are, see different, if you want to get hired, okay, to that place across the street, you find out that on Friday afternoons they go to this bar to have a couple of drinks. That's where everybody kind of meets. That's the watering call for the plant or the company or the corporation that you want to. And then get to know them, get to meet them, find out what they do and why they do it and where they're going and what's the buzzwords right now. And start to surround yourself, I guess I'm saying, with like-minded people. Ones that you can learn from and ones that you can teach, because it's always a two-way street. But with this card, understand that you've walked so many paths to get to this point in time. And you're really trying to understand, do I really want to walk in this direction? In order to walk in that direction, we have to do some soul searching. Absolutely. We have to see ourselves playing it out. I mean, is this something we want to step into? Is there a lot of joy to be had? Or am I doing a lot of extra work for nothing? For our health, our well-being, we have the Magician. So all you have to do is just tell yourself you're doing good. Okay, I always remember Sylvia Brown talking about the 24-hour flu. I don't know if anybody here remembers the 24-hour flu. Everybody got the 24-hour flu. And so people would literally sit there and go, let's see here, yesterday around 2 o'clock, so... I'm going to start feeling better. I've got a few more hours to go. I think I'll crawl back into bed and see how I feel. I should be fine by then if I take another, and we would actually, and guess what? At 24 hours, when we hit that dot, we were feeling great again. 24-hour flu. Because what? because we believed it to be only 24 hours. We told our body we have 24 hours to get better. Now, I don't have as much success doing that one as I do other ones, but I do tell myself, okay, I got a cold. You got 3 hours. Do your best for 3 hours, but then you're out of here. I've got things to do. Or I'm feeling, exhausted or something. Okay, I'll give myself 1 hour. 1 hour to just rest and do nothing and turn to jelly here in my pillows. But then after an hour, I'm going to feel all kinds of ambition and I'm going to get going. It's so much what we tell ourselves does turn out to be our reality, especially when we believe what we tell ourselves, that we will follow through. There's a research out there on the brain, and it says if you're sitting there and you're watching something on TV and you decide to get up and you make yourself, say, a ham sandwich, okay? That your brain actually knew that you were going to make that ham sandwich before you had the first thought of, geez, I'm a little hungry. I wonder what's in the fridge. I mean, the ham sandwich is still down the road for you in your conscious mind, but there's a part of your brain that already triggered that you wanted to go and get that ham sandwich, and that's where subliminal, advertising and everything comes in, is that subconscious goes to work, and we don't even know that we're acting on that. The magician is here to say, well, do a little bit of that to yourself. Start telling yourself what you want to step into, how you want to feel, how you want to look. Okay, there is a lot of energy, and I'm going back to the mind again. Okay, there was a prisoner of war. He was a prisoner of war for several years, and when he came back, him and a few of his buddies got together one day, and they decided to go golfing, and he parred the course. He was like, he parred the course, and they were like astonished. Like, you're telling me you were in a hole for like 2.5, 3 years here, and you come out and you play a perfect game of golf, and we've been practicing, like we've been playing every week together, and I'm 4 over, I'm 5 over, so they're like, what? And he goes, well, I play golf every single day, in my mind. I'd tee off on the first hole, Sometimes I'd hit it straight down the fairway. Other times I didn't. I'd adjust my swing. I'd see myself, just swing right through that. He had nothing else to do, right? He occupied his mind in that way. And because he did that every day, and there's a lot of tests. One classroom learns the piano, and all they do is they sit down and they're taught it for half an hour, 3 times a week, whatever. The second one is they're taught it, but there's never ever a piano. They're to imagine the keys and the piano in front of them and where the C note is, and watching their fingers go over and doing this for the 20 minutes. And there was like a 10% difference in the people that actually were instructed and played it, and the people that just used their mind and played it in their mind on the end result. We can also build muscle. Believe it or not, there's proof that if we see ourselves doing, push-ups every single day, that when we measure our bodies, we see more muscle tone at the end of the week, regardless if we did it or not. Not as much muscle tone. I mean, you're not going to get, ripped if you do it, but it is a way, and this is how some people that can't walk anymore start to walk again. It's by seeing themselves, envisioning themselves one step at a time. I really kind of get that for how the magician showed up here for us. That is really up to you how you want your health, your well-being, your family setting. It's up to you to envision that. It's up for you to say, this is what I want to see it as. This is how I want my reality to be. And then work towards it. Of course, actually doing is always the best approach. But with this card here, I think we can put a lot, and repetition is very important when we're doing that. Let's go to the Circle of Doors Tarot. And we have the 12, the Hanged One. So the Hangman. Another major arcana card. Okay. Okay, we got straight. Oh, there is another page here. Okay, here we go. I break my back upon your illusions. I crack open the veil. Your cage no longer holds me. Give me nothing but my freedom. Reverse the call. The solid truth upon which you've stood, your whole life has crumbled beneath your feet, and you're falling through the looking glass. You must become a traitor to the small and dull world you once knew, so that you can be initiated into the brighter, more real world that awaits. When we become stagnant and our spirit grows weary, we can revive ourselves by discarding everything we know to be true. When we are dangling helplessly in uncertainty, we can rebuild our souls by seeing the world with fresh eyes and allowing the eternal truths to reassert themselves. So ask yourself, what if the circumstances of your life aren't what they seem? What poisonous beliefs must you turn upside down and shake loose? Will you take a chance on rewriting the story of your life? Your affirmations for this week are: my understandings are never perfectly correct. I am beholden to no authority. I take nothing for granted. I can always start again. And we will get a power thought card. And we have: I prosper wherever I turn. I now see opportunities for abundance everywhere. I am blessed and prosperous. So there you go. I am prosperous wherever I turn. So know that there's a lot of magic around you this week to utilize. Oh my goodness. This is you really moving forward in your life in a very positive way. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.